talk a little bit more about our partnership with the Camden Library system. For that, Julie, if you want, you can talk a little bit more about what you offer, and we go from there. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, do you want to share to the library website, Alejandro?
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm Julie Tozer. I'm the manager of the downtown branch of the Camden County Library System. We're located on the Rutgers Camden campus. We are a small branch, but a mighty branch. If you've never visited us before, we're open to the public, although we are here on the campus. So we've, of course, adjusted many of our services throughout the pandemic as much as we can. There are still some things we're not able to offer yet, but we're back up as much as we can be. So I'll call your attention to a couple things on our website. As we've been working on before the pandemic, we continue to shift and just balance in more digital services. So you can use the library 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from home without leaving home, right? So we have ebooks, downloadable music, streaming movies, magazines, as well as many different platforms for learning, right? So we have things like Universal Class, which is comparable to a Khan Academy for free. We have Rosetta Stone for free. We have access to genealogy databases like Ancestry for free, and many, many other online digital resources. We're also offering digital meeting rooms, right? Our meeting rooms, in-person meeting rooms, are still closed to the public because of the pandemic for a variety of reasons. But we're offering virtual meeting rooms, so you can use our Zoom subscription essentially. So you won't have a time limit on a Zoom meeting room. You can use that through the library. So that's going to be listed under our digital services section. And the bottom line, just to let you know, that the library is here for you, right? So you can call us anytime, email us, reach out to a librarian. We do assistance by appointment for technology of all kinds. So please reach out to us and keep us in mind as part of your community, here to support you through your business needs and entertainment needs and everything else. We're here. We're part of your community.
Thank you, Julie. And I just want to reiterate something really important that Julie said. There's a lot of different services that the library offers, and please take advantage of those. If you go and do this by yourself, for example, the Rosetta Stone, if you buy the service, it can cost you $30, $40 a month. So taking advantage of this is really important because it can save you money and you can learn more things. So that's wonderful. Thank you, Julie. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about who we are, UCDC, before we start the presentation. So basically, we're a private nonprofit. We have been working in New Jersey for the last 47 years, and we offer three different things. We have loans. Those are from the SBA. We're a community development financial institution. That means that we help the organizations, businesses that don't have access to capital. So we try to lend them and be that bridge between not having funding to be able to go to a bank. I'll be talking a little bit more later on. We have the training department. I'm part of that department. We do a lot of different programs. And if you're interested in learning more things, go to our website, ucdc.com, and you can learn more about what we offer. And the other part is government contracting. We have a contract for Union County, but we do have a lot of different webinars about how to contract with different entities on the government, even federal and statewide. So it's really wonderful, you know this. So on the lending part, as you see, we provide funding, but a small funding, up to $50,000 on the microloan part, with the community advantage up to $250,000, and the real estate part, the 504, up to $5 million. And why our basically main lending program is the microloans. Most banks don't have appetite for loans below $50,000 because the underwriting process is so big, and and you need a lot of people involved in that actually it can be really hard to get the money back. So microloans, 15, $20,000 for a small business, we can help you get that loan. There are wonderful programs in there, so take advantage of those. For the community advantage, this program is, for example, if you're buying a property and you have to upgrade that property for commercial use, we can give you that money. The important part here is the interest rates. Is basically prime plus 1, 2, or 3 points, and it's up to 10 years. So it can be really cheap compared to other commercial products. And the real estate, this is the best product that's out there if you're gonna buy commercial real estate. And commercial real estate means that you can buy a building, you can live in the second floor, but the square footage of the commercial real estate has to be at least 51% of the total footage of the building. So this loan is actually below prime. And the 504, what it means is that we partner with a commercial bank. The bank takes care of 50% of the loan. We take care of 40% of the complete value of the loan, and you just put 10% down. And that's the key part here. Most banks, if you go to buy commercial real estate, you have to put up to 30% down. And with 10% down, it's really competitive. Okay, so let's continue. The other part is training and technical assistance. We have free workshops. We partner with organizations as the Camden Library System. We do all of those, and those basically are business basic programs. So we do anything from marketing tools for small businesses, intellectual property, QuickBooks, accounting beginning, basics basically. And we do all those programs that are really wonderful, and those are for free. We have entrepreneurship training programs, those are up to 7 weeks. We have not done so many of them after the pandemic, because we usually, it's a 7-week program. It costs about $120. We give you a book, all the material, and you can access mentoring for 1 year for free, and we try to help you get into the lending department really easy after this program. And we have business mentoring. This is, for example, everyone here, if they have questions, they don't know where to find information, or if they need, for example, a lawyer or someone that can help them, please let us know. Why? Because we may know someone, another organization that can provide these services for free. And this is key. And services that can cost you thousands of dollars, maybe there's an organization that can provide those at no cost to you. So this is really important. And we have 2 programs, the Entrepreneur as a Second Chance and the Virtual Incubator Program. And I want to just focus on this really quick. The ESC program is for reentry population. If you know anyone that has been the reentry into the community and want to open their business, please let them know about us. This program is an 8-week program. We'll give them a computer, we give them mentoring, and a forgivable loan. So this program is really, really well suited for people that want to open their business as an alternative of just working when they re-enter the society. So if you know anyone, please let them know about the program, and just go to ucdc.com and you can apply directly there. And the BIP program is another wonderful program that we have, and this is just dedicated to small business that are minority-owned business and LGBTQ plus business. And why we specify those kind of business? Because we know they have been hit really hard by the pandemic, and for them they have a higher rate of not getting loans than the rest of the business. So if you know anyone, please tell them about this program. We provide an 8-week program, basically all the counseling and mentoring for the life of your business, basically for free. and we give you access to a loan up to $10,000 with really low interest rate, almost 0% interest rate. So that's a wonderful thing to do. And the last part of the UCDC part is the PPP Tag. And one, I spent a lot of time in this, but just this is wonderful. If you already have a business and you have been open for at least 2 years, that means that you have 2 years of tax returns. You need to do this. Why? Because the government is always buying stuff. And if you're able to contact your PTAC, they're 19 in New Jersey, just go and try to contact the one closest to you. This is wonderful because they can help you identify bid leads, marketing to purchasing agents, proposal development, because sometimes we don't know if a proposal we're doing is correct. They can help you with that. And know how to navigate the Government Service Administration, the GSA website. This will help you a lot because all this information can actually improve your position in order to sell more and open new lines of services or products just dedicated to government contracting. So you can make more money if you want with PTAG. So this is one of the biggest parts, and this is wonderful. So this is who we are, the library system, what they offer, UCDC, but let's get started right away with market research. So I will show you some tools. We're gonna do some examples on market research, but first we're gonna talk a little bit more about the concepts because we need to have those concepts really clear. So understanding the basic marketing concepts, identify businesses, uses of market research, review free market research, data lists and resources, illustrate the uses of research, basically some examples that we're gonna do. So there's two ways you can do market research. There's primary versus secondary research. And basically what is this is that you can self-conduct on primary or just review the results of someone that has done it before you. So why this is important? Because one is expensive. If you're gonna do a primary research, it can take thousands of dollars just to do this. Why? Because you want to have the correct questions. You want to have to be independent to do this with an independent organization. Maybe hire someone to do this and conduct this as an independent to you. Why? Because sometimes we can make the wrong, ask the wrong question and get results that are not gonna give us inside information for our business. That's why it's so important. The same way with secondary research. For example, if we take a look at the Census Bureau, with the census, we will actually know a lot of data. They have a lot of data. So we need to know how to read that data in order to get enough information that will provide us an insights on how that market is going to move forward. And why will we do a primary research? Sometimes, let me see, we have okay, at the end of the presentation, I will open for Q&A. But if you feel comfortable, you can also unmute yourself at some point and we'll go from there. But let's say, for example, for marketing research concepts of the primary research, why will we do all of this? Why will we spend money? Basically, because this will give you quality research. So, for example, the packaging of your product, is that good enough? For example, if you're selling a website or something online, for example, the colors that you use, the letters, the style, how you organize your menu, that kind of things is really important. The quality in things. So most of the times you're gonna have to do this with interviews, focus groups, panels. And remember, if you're gonna do a focus group, most likely you're gonna have to pay them. And I've seen focus groups that can pay you up to $100 to be in a focus group. And you're not gonna do just one, you may be doing a lot of different groups, which can be actually really important. So that's why it, it will be better if another organization does this for you. But remember, the qualitative part is really important. If you're designing a new product, for example, or service, it will be really good. Or if you don't have the money to do all of this, try to get a friend of yours, but someone that's really will tell you the truth, won't sugarcoat things, to tell you the things that they think right away. Why? Because if you ask your friends and family about your product or service, they want you to succeed, right? And maybe they're not objective, but you need someone that's really objective and tell you how it is, okay? So that's why it's so important, this part, and why it can be expensive if you do it by yourself. Let's continue. Of course, if you're gonna do if you're gonna do a marketing research, there's something that you have to be really clear about, is what information do you want to obtain, who should be part of the survey, how many people you should survey, and how can you select the respondents. And to do this, the most important part here is to know the size of the group that you're gonna survey. And believe me, the smaller the community size, let's say you live in a small town of 5,000 people, versus New York, that's about like 10 million people. You want to basically have everyone on that town be represented in that sample that you select. If you have 5,000 people or 500 people, you will have to survey a lot of people to represent everyone in that town. But if you have someone like New York, like 200 people, 20 million people, or a population of Mexico that's about 230 million people, then the sample goes down, because you can actually represent a large amount of people with just one person. So that's the big difference there. So if you see this, the sample size, one can be 104, the other one 384. The other part that's really important is that, remember, people will not always tell the truth. So that's why we'll always say the confidence level. We suppose that 95% of the people will tell you what they actually think about the question that you're asking them, right? And the confidence level is you say like, you know what? It can be 95%, but I'm gonna give them like a buffer of that answer, so it can be 90% or 100%. So you give that buffer is a confident interval. It's really important that you always have that buffer, and usually it's about 5%. And the most important part here is that if you want to have to determine that size, you can go to this website that I have here, and you will be able to get it. One thing, I'll be sending this presentation to Julie with some links. So Julie, you can send this to everyone in the that's here today, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. So I'll be sending all of these. I'll send more information, so you all receive this presentation. So don't worry about just copying the links and everything. You'll be receiving this as a PDF. Okay. Good. I think I have some questions in here. Okay. So let's continue. And this is important. Remember, when I say like, oh, sometimes you want to hear what you want to hear, and that can be a bias. So response bias, asking a question the wrong way, and select bias, surveying the wrong audience. So why is this important? Remember, one thing that we want to identify first is who's gonna buy from me. Who's the average person? Who's that persona that's gonna buy from me? So when we identify that person, for example, if I'm a contractor that specialize in in uh, in Camden County, okay, and if I'm in Camden County, I know the homes in Camden County, most of them that were built before 1985. So if I know that, maybe I want to specialize in homes between 1970 and 1985 that are owned by a Hispanic community. They have 2 kids and they have income between 75,000 to $120,000. If I have that, I already know who's my audience, right? I will have, instead of having, for example, 300,000 people that own a home in Camden County, I can see that the actual size of my market is going to be 20,000 households. And after that, I can actually ask the questions. If we have as the wrong audience, then we're going to spend time, money, and we won't get anything out of that. So this is why it's so important that if you're going to do this on your own, you have to have a third party to review it at least, and have other eyes audit what you're going to do in order to get the correct information that you want to get, basically. And response bias, asking a question the wrong way. With the response bias, we can see when the Hillary Clinton lost the election versus Donald Trump, and there was a bias on how they asked the question. If you see all the surveys say like, oh, Hillary Clinton is going to win, but it was wrong because they didn't realize how the system works, because it's not direct voting. It doesn't count. It has to go to the electoral college, and they didn't realize that. So even if they asked the question, the way the information came to us and they interpret the information was the wrong way. So you have to be careful about that. You want to be careful about how you read that information and make decisions based on that. Okay. Business use market research. Basically, this is how you can use all the things you can do. Just concept testing. If you go on a new business or product concept testing, let's say Shark Tank. This is the perfect case of Shark Tank. When someone goes and says, like, oh, I have this product and that's gonna sell millions of dollars. And the first thing every one of the judges ask is, okay, the concept testing, does it has demand? How many have you sold? Who's your customer? How do you market this? What's the growth possibility of your sales numbers? All those kind of things. Sales and marketing forecast. So if you're selling, for example, 20,000 units of a product today, if you invest X amount of money, how many can you sell on the future in the next 5 years? And those kind of things, just take a look at Shark Tank if you haven't seen it. And all these questions are basically the questions that the judges ask. For example, site, store, branch, office, how do you sell your product? Customer profile and segmentation, where they are, how many of they are, why they will buy from you, those kind of things. Pricing and price sensibility. So what's the price? And what's your competition price? How much can you increase your price without reducing your sales or even improve your sales? Advertising and promotion. How do you advertise your product? Is that the correct way of doing? Awareness, image, and purchase intent. So all those kind of things. Branding and customer service satisfaction and retention. And the most important part that you want to establish when you're doing marketing research is trying to find basically if your business, if your product or service is a responsible financial investment. if you're going to have a higher return on investment. And I will always say, before you invest, before you do all of this, do an evaluation of your product or service, do forecasting, and see the return on investment. What's the return on investment? What's the correct number? What's going to be your break-even point? And those kind of things are all connected. Even if they're numbers, they're all connected to the marketing part. Because you can have the best product in the world, but if you don't sell it, there's nothing you can do about it. So these parts are really important in that equation, okay? So sales and marketing forecasting, ask, who has the need for my product or service, the financial ability to purchase it, and the ability to find it? How many of these peoples or businesses exist today? How much money does each person business spend every year to solve on this product or service? And this will let you know, for example, if you have a hair cutting business, you know that in average a woman can go 7 or 8 times a year, right? And they spend $70 every time they go. So if they go 7 times, you know it's going to be between 49,000 to $560 a year. But how many of them are? And this is really important, because that will let you know if it's a responsible financial investment that you do. Okay, so take a look at the numbers. Numbers won't lie. So who else do I share the market with? And remember, you cannot say like, oh, if I'm gonna go to a business and I know there's 1 million people that are willing to buy my product or service, 1 million people will come to me. That's not realistic. You have to know, for example, your expansion plan. You can start with 1% of the market, 2% of the market, but just take a look at what that plan is going to be. It's not going to be like I'm going to get 1% of the market because it's me. What's your unique selling proposition? What makes you unique? Why people will buy from you instead of the competition or organization that they already know? What makes you different? And this is really important on how you can improve your marketing and your market share, okay? And all of that information comes back to doing marketing research and identifying the information that will allow you to improve your position, to have a high return on that investment. And now that we're looking into the market, there's 4 things that you have to do: the potential market, target market, total addressable market, and obtainable market. So that's the big difference that I was telling you about. Like, there's 1 million people that are in the market, so that's potential market. Target market is the part of that huge market that you identify and you're gonna pursue by yourself. For example, if you have, if you're in a town that's about 1 million people and you cut hair, not all that 1 million people is gonna be your target market. Maybe you're just gonna focus on a specific age range and gender. For example, women between 18 and 45 years old. And from that 1 million people, maybe there are only 350 women in that age range. And out of those, you're gonna basically, your obtainable market is gonna be 2 or 3% of that. So that's really important. Total addressable market, the total number of targets, prospects, and the times average annual revenue per customer. So we will see an example of this. An obtainable market, the number of annual customers your company expects to actually obtain. So this is one thing that I was talking about, is like a hair salon in a small city. Let's say you have 120,000 people. You provide high-end service salon, high-end salon services. The average haircut and style is about $65. Majority of clients are women between age 25 and 55. Out of the 120,000 people, you know there are 35,000 women in that age range. And this is really important, the assumptions. And the assumptions are gonna base more in your experience than anything else. If you're new to the market, you should get that from talking to people that know more about the market, that specific industry. Why? Because, for example, we can help you with the numbers, we can help you with everything, but the information of the industry, of your business, it has to come from you. You're the expert on what you're gonna do or sell, right? So let's assume that you you have experience, you're a hairstylist, you have experience, you have customers, you know your business and you know your art. So you know that the average customer goes about 7 times a year. So that's $450. And the total addressable market, remember, is the all market of people that of your average customer. So that's gonna be $15 million. If you open a business, you cannot expect around to get all the $15 million. Why? Because we know that there's gonna be competition. If you thought about a business, believe me, someone already did, and they're gonna open a business. Or if they see that you're doing really well, they're gonna try to copy your concept and open because they see that as an opportunity to grow and make money, right? So that's important. So,
Alejandro, we do have a question in the chat.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. If you hire a marketing company and they cannot determine some of the assertions from 2 slides ago, that means you probably have the wrong marketing company.
Yes, they should be able to provide you this. And the most important part is the scope of work that you have with them. It's really important that you establish a specific scope of work, saying like, I want to obtain A, B, C. This is the result of the study, and they should be able to provide those numbers that you want. If they cannot provide, then they're on breach of the contract. But it's really important that when you sign something, you put a scope of work and timing on that. So they're responsible for giving you that information. Okay, and if not, well, they're in breach of contract and you won't have to pay. That's the most important part, because you don't want to pay for something that you're not receiving. So be careful about that, but always get a scope of work and if you can, get a lawyer to review the documents before you sign them. Okay, and other things. If you need help with this, I will send Julie some organization, the Small Business Development Centers. There are 12 in New Jersey. They're sponsored by the SBA, and they partner with universities like Rutgers University, the College of New Jersey, and a lot of different universities in South Jersey. Please contact them. They offer all these services for free. They do have specialists, for example, in marketing and accounting, a lawyer that can help you out at no cost to you. So I'll be sending that information to you, okay? Okay, so going back to the presentation, so obtainable market. Remember we said like, oh, it's gonna be $15 million. Yes, that's the addressable market. That's what you would like to have. But being realistic, if you're new in the market, you're not gonna obtain that. So you have to start small. So you have, remember the assumptions. Assumptions are really important. And remember, an assumption, you have to compare it with the actual results, maybe because you have to adjust that. And this is really important. When you run a business, always try to do to compare the assumptions that you have to the reality, make changes so you can actually obtain what you desire at the beginning of this process. And then for the obtainable market, just assume this. Your salon will capture only 1% of the total addressable market over the first 2 years of operation. And you just, simple math, that's gonna be about 350 consumers, $157,000. Why this is really important? Because this will allow you to have a good understanding of your capitalization needs. It's not only a marketing thing, right? It's always gonna be linked to numbers. and with numbers is accounting. So if we know that we're gonna go after $150,000 a year, we have to know our capitalization needs, and that's the following. For example, when are you gonna break even? If you're gonna have $150,000, you invest, I don't know, $20,000 to invest and to open your salon. If you invest $20,000, in when are you gonna be able to achieve that break even point? That means that the business itself can cover the expenses of the business, not even generate profit, but at least you won't have to put more money in. And that's really important because a lot of small businesses go under the first year of operation because of this, because they lack capitalization. They don't have a really good understanding of of how much money will I need to run the business until the business can generate enough profit to keep everything up and running. And the assumptions you make here on a attainable market will allow you to have a good idea of the money you will need until that happens. So this is really, really important. You have a good understanding of the revenue stream on the first or second year based on your assumptions, and always review your assumptions. On this, not like the first year you operate for 1 year, and at the end of the year you compare to the assumptions you had when you start this process. No, every quarter, for example, you should be able to compare this. And if you compare this, you can make the adjustments in order to improve your position. Okay, that's really important.
There's a suggestion in the chat to divide by 12 to understand if monthly cash flow is there as well.
Yes, absolutely. And the person that says that on the chat is absolutely right. Please take a look at the cash flows. We have another presentation on cash flows. I'll talk with Julie to do something on January, just talking about financial statements, because they're so important. It's not only about, because remember, all the financial statements is data that you have. It's not just for tax purposes. But if you can take those, you can actually review your assumptions, make sure that your assumptions were correct, or maybe even change them. Make sure that your assumptions are relevant. Maybe they're not relevant because you're growing at 2 or 3, 5% instead of 1%. So you have to update that. And thank you so much for that. That information that someone put on the chat, I really appreciate it. That's really great. Thank you. So there are a lot of tools that you can take a look. Now we're gonna look at basically the most important part here. Information. Where can you find information about your business that's free, that you can actually read from there? So there's a lot of different ways. Jersey Clicks, New Jersey State Library. You can go there and access reference solutions. That's a great, that's the best tool I think there's out there to find information for your business. And the other one is it's the Census Bureau. It can give you a lot of information because it's new data. It's data that we have from the last 2, I think it was done last year, right? I don't recall. Last year or 2 years ago, the census?
This last year. Yep.
Okay.
On the
last year.
Every 10 years. Yeah.
Every 10
years.
Yeah. So we have it last year, and that's great. That's an awesome thing to have. So let's take a look right now at the census, and then we'll go to reference solutions right now. Okay. So let me see census. And don't worry, I'll be sending all these links, everything, so you can access that. You don't have to take notes or anything, so don't worry. Okay, once you go into the Census Bureau, you will always go to Explore Data. Here, you will go to that Data, Tools, and Apps. Here, you will go to one that's called Census Business Builder. Let me see if this is the correct one. Yes, I think. Yes, Census Business Builder. You don't want here to the regional thing one because this is more um, for chambers of commerce. This won't give you a lot of information. You will go here to version 4, and this is wonderful because they're up to 3 months ago we were on version 3 because all the data they collect was not updated. So version 4 is already updated. All the data from the last census. So this will only give you demographic information, but demographic information is all awesome. So let's say you're in construction. So you do plumbing, right? Now you say like, you know what? I'm in Camden County, Camden City, maybe. Let me see. I'm gonna move my video feed here. Sorry, is that okay? Yeah, Camden. Okay, Camden County, New Jersey. And then you create the report. Or we can go more specific. Let's say Camden City. Loading. It can take a while, so don't worry about it. But it should be, you know what, for the Camden County, let's do Camden County then, because it's taking longer than I expected. And these are two things that you can do here. You can look into the NAICS code of the industry that you're located, and then this Camden City. For example, I just said like plumbing based on really something basic that I did. Let me see if I, let's say Camden County, New Jersey, and create map, create report. And once you create the report, this will give you demographic information. This is really important. Demographic information only. So this is the report that created. It will give us, for example, all the information about total population, male, female, 18 years old, below 18 years old, all of that. And basically percentage white, African American, Latino, Indian, Native, Alaskan, and everything, Asian. This is what most of us would like to see is the household income. Why? Because the household income will let us know if, for example, there's gonna be demand for our product or service. If they have disposable income to buy from us, that's really important. So, and this will give us a lot of information too. For example, the people they have higher degree, for example, high school, bachelor's, all of that. Average household size 2.67. So 2.67 people live in one household. So most likely they have only one kid now. Other things that you want to see here depend, for example, if you have a repair shop for cars, you see like 76% of people drive. So if you're located in one county, that can give you a lot of information on, okay, or a city, you can say, oh, I can open my business here or something like that. That will be awesome. Okay, the other things. Household units, owner occupied. If you're, for example, a plumber, you know that most likely people that will do upgrades and plumbing and things like that, they own the home. So you want to focus on 125,000 units, but that's going to be the whole universe of units that you're addressable market, not the obtainable. Remember, the whole thing, not what you want to go after. So that will give you all this information. business sector, plumbing, and this will give you all the organizations that are out there that are going to be your competition. So for example, 178 businesses, they have on average 12 employees. Then we have 93 less than 5 people, between 5 and 942. Average payroll for employees $65,000, and the ones that are bigger, and you will get all of those. Total employment of employees, 2,000 people work here, and the annual payroll is about a year is about $139 million. So you see, this is a huge a huge market out there for this kind of business. Also, for example, there's more plumbers in Camden County than their average in New Jersey. So there's a lot of concentration of these services in the county. That will give us that there's a lot of competition. But to know where the competition is, we're going to take a look at other things. And this will give you, for example, all employing firms, total number of employers and non-employers, revenue of the organizations, and that's about it. The other parts won't give you information, but now you have seen, and let me change the video, is that I have to change the location of the video again. Okay, this is wonderful. But if you want more information that you say like, oh, you know what, it's easier to read, we'll go to another one. So first we go to Jersey Clicks. This one, Jersey Clicks, New Jersey State Library. We open this one. Once you are here, you go basically all the way down to reference solutions, formerly Reference USA. Really important, you can only access this if you have your library card. Julie told you, if you're in Camden County, please, this is a free service, right, Julie?
Yep, this is available so it's provided through the state library for everyone in New Jersey, but you'll be able to access it with your Camden County library card. If you allow your device to share your location, if that's okay with you and you're in New Jersey, it will let you in without a library card. But if you're wanting to keep your location private, which is perfectly understandable, you'd need your card to authenticate as a New Jersey person and log in.
Okay, thank you, Julie. I was not aware of the location part, but that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, the first thing it will be appearing here is as a terms and conditions. You have to do this. Then you continue, and this is where it will ask you the library card part if you don't, if you have never used this, or the part that's location access. Once you're here, this is all the databases that you have, all the things they have. For example, if there's 3 things that we're gonna look at today in this database. So let me change my video. Okay, here that I want you to see. And this is something that you want always remember. If you're doing business to business, you want to do this. If you're looking for lifestyles, let's say people that go to the gym, or wine or cheeses or special things, you always want to see lifestyles. If you're a contractor, for example, maybe you want to see movers, homeowners. Why? Because they will give you specific information for those industries. So that's one of the most important parts here. Let me just delete and clear all the drawings. Okay, so let me go back to the presentation, and we'll go here, Jersey Clicks, first, and we're gonna do some examples. So we have a recent mover, a time frame, and house type. And we're supposed to be, for example, a painter. So if we are a painter, we want to have a specific information of people that just move in, for example, because we know that most of the times when people buy a new home, they want to paint the home or just make it's little changes. That's the most basic thing. So we're gonna do this way. We're gonna go to the county, demographic, home ownership, new movers. So this is homeowners, new movers. And why? Because we know if one if we identify those, then we might have a better way of reach out to them, and have a higher return on investment, basically on the marketing material. Remember, every time you're doing marketing, you're investing in the company and you need to have a return. If I invest $10, maybe I want $100 back, that's fine. But you want to maximize the probability of having that higher return on that investment. And these solutions will allow you to do that. So let's go here. This is the database. So let's assume this. You're you're a painter. You know, people, based on your experience, you know, people will basically paint their homes when they move to a new location, and if they own their home. So that's really important. So let's open here. So first things here, you always gonna go to advanced search. Why? Because this will give you more, look, this will give you more options, and this is important. So you basically have 15 million records that will allow you to identify trends on the market. So basically, let's go ahead. One of the basic things is that we're gonna select the county, and this is geography. So we're gonna go to county. We're gonna say, you know, let's say like Camden County. Oh, sorry, I always have to go here. New Jersey, Camden County. Home ownership. Confirm, always confirm homeowner. Regulation details. The last 6 months, we are gonna go for people that just moved in the last 6 months, because that's when people want to do this. So, or we can go even more specific on the geography. You know, we said like Camden County, but maybe we're gonna go with city, and then we're gonna go with ranges. So for example, we do a city. Let's say we're in New Jersey. New Jersey. Oh, city, state. Oh, okay. Okay. Clear. So clear. Sorry about that. Let's see, Newark. Go. Newark. It's Newark, New Jersey. Let's put it that. And then we're gonna do ratios, because we know Newark is gonna be a small thing. So we're gonna do but we need this. So let's do Collinswood. Collinswood, New Jersey. That's because that I know the ratios, number of miles. Let's say 50 miles. So let's say you're located in Camden, in Collinswood, New Jersey, but you don't want to go more than 50 miles, because that's way too far from you, and maybe you're not gonna make money if you go out of that ratios. So let's say 20 miles is more than the average a lot of businesses do. So that's good. So 20 miles and the zip code is 0808. Okay. Confirm ownership last 6 months. So let's go view results. So we have 22,000 people that live in that range and moved to close to Collinswood over the last 6 months. So this is awesome. So one thing that you're gonna go, and this is what you want to have, like confirm these things, confirm ownership. This is awesome. You will have the address and the city and the name of the person, and you can use that to get all basically to have a really custom marketing campaign to them, and that way you can maximize the money that you're putting in. So let's clear everything, clear all drawings. And this is good. So you can only download 100 people in each page. So this is what we do. We do one page, you select everything on the first name. On the second page, you select everything. On the third one, you select everything. On the fourth one, you select everything. And then you just download everything. Let me see that. Then you download this Excel and detail and download records. Once we have that, I will open the records in Excel. Are there any questions so far in right now?
There was one question from earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, and then another one just came in. So the question from earlier was, let me just scroll back to it. Best way to find out new businesses that have opened in a certain area. The person asking the question has been using Reference Solutions, which is the one we're looking at. Are there other databases or websites to check?
Well, I think I will send you more.
Great.
Because I think there's another one, but the most complete is this one. If you're doing everything online, we have seen other ones, and this is the best one actually.
Okay. There was a suggestion to try the corporations division of the Secretary of State's office website. It looks like that may have some information.
Yeah, and actually you can go to the IRS and get a lot of information if they're public, and you can get a lot of information, but if they're public, otherwise you won't get that information.
Yeah.
So
and so then there's another question. So to get to this website, so you always want to make sure that you're accessing this through a library website. So either through Jersey Click, which Alejandro showed us, or through the Camden County Library website or your local library website. If you go in through that through a library channel, you will be able to get free access to this. If you're just Googling Data Axle or Reference Solutions and finding it as an individual, yeah, you'll be on the individual commercial site and it will ask for your credit card information. So don't do that. Go through a library website and then you'll get the free access with your card or by allowing it to see that you're in that you're in New Jersey. And then is there a way to find out which households speak Russian to invite children to a Russian language school?
Russian.
Is there a language?
I will say maybe on their lifestyles, but we will take a look at that right now. So let's complete this one. Right now, you will see everything that we said, like, hey, I'm a painter, I'm in Collinswood, I'll do anything that everyone that moves and owns a home 20 miles from Collinswood. But this is everyone, right? But really important here is, for example, the estimated household income. Maybe you want to start looking into, okay, I want to pay homes from people that just moved, see on the last 6 months with an income higher than maybe, or starting at $100,000, $150,000. Why? Because if you go for people that own a home and their income is, for example, right here, $50,000 to $60,000, maybe they won't have money to buy your services, right? So this is really important. Just that you get this information, it doesn't mean that's the correct. You can do everyone here. You have to start looking at the income. Maybe someone that has income of $200,000 will actually do this. Someone with an income of $70,000 to $79,000, maybe they're gonna do it by themselves. So this is really important. Okay. Other things that you want to see: a home value. Maybe people that have a home value of $600,000, they're gonna do this. And this is really important, okay? And this is the record ID. You can get the email address from all these people with reference solutions, but that will cost you 25 cents per person. One of the things that I want you to know that's really important is it's better to have already a relation with someone before you invest on that, on having the email, because people will change their location, where they live, everything. Most likely, they will never change their email. And if you buy their email and send them a blast email and they don't know you, maybe they're gonna block you. And if they block you, you're gonna miss that wall of information, that connection that you can build through other terms. So be careful about how you use this, okay? So this is the first database that we're gonna take a look. And this was basically new movers. So people that move, things like that. If you're a contractor, it can help you a lot. The other one that you want to take a look at is we're gonna see if we can find someone that speaks Russian. And maybe we want to go to customer and lifestyles. Why? Because maybe in lifestyles we can see people that want to learn another language. And that's something that you want to take a look at here. So let's say the same way. We have about 298 million records on this one. So this is awesome. So we're gonna look at the lifestyles. Oh, okay. Let's start with county. County. And we're gonna go with the same. We're gonna say New Jersey. New Jersey. We're gonna say Camden County. Oh, okay. Camden County. You can see like the same way city, radius, it's up to you, but we're gonna do this quick for the sake of time. Household income, I will always put household income because this is awesome, because maybe people that make the first one like between $20,000 to $79,000, they won't have enough income to do other activities, you know? So I will always have like from 80 to $300,000, let's say. Let's say lifestyles, and this is something that we want to take a look at. Okay. I have to move my video again. You know, you guys all appear, and with Zoom, I have to move it so all around my screen. Okay, so this is everything that we have. Oh no, the travel, arts, collective, hobby, home improvement, modeler, or personal financial best. Let's say personal behavior. Now languages, photography, outdoor. That's gonna be hard, but let's say self-help maybe.
So this was my question. This is Alina. I think on the left, right? I know you're right now in the center of the screen, but on the left I saw languages. I think right there. Do you see a little bit further down? Language spoken?
Oh,
right,
sorry about that. I didn't see that one. There you go.
Okay,
Thank
so
you, Alana. So Okay.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. This is great.
Yeah. You see, we always learn something new.
Yeah, okay.
So Russian.
Because I was trying to do the targeting on Facebook, but Facebook does not allow Russian. It picks up like the major languages, but not Russian.
Oh, yeah. So yeah. So let's say you have Russian. Okay, Russian. Let's go and view results with this one. Okay. Oh, 229. So the thing here, this is a little different. So this will show you the summary. For example, let's say with age range, I will say, this will show you the matrix, chart, or table. I always do chart or matrix because I like it, because every result will be shown in a different way. It's not always like an Excel file. This one will show you these three types: table, matrix, or chart. So let's say income and age. Okay, this will show you, for example, under 25, we have only 10 people, 7, 18, everyone up to more than 79 years old. Of course, this is only Camden County. You can do it by home, by other locations. But
This is great. Thank you so much. I will play with the system. Thank you.
Yeah, and you can also select this part too. Maybe you find one that can be in this area, that can be like I know, health, diet, something that more relatable to what you're trying to do. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, that's awesome. So this is a second database. Of course, for example, there's a lot of small businesses that they say like, oh, Alejandro, I do a lot of arts, history, science, or because they have cultural centers or things like that. Or this is another one that's really popular, cook and wine. And this is, for example, knitting. It's really popular, actually. I was not even aware of that. So you can actually take a look at everything. There's a lot of things here. For example, do it yourself if you want to home decorating and furnishing. If that's your thing, that's something that's huge. For example, pet and animals, I think is a 2 trillion business a year in the US. Is huge. So you can take a look at, for example, people that love cats. My sister loves cats. She has 2 cats and they have their own room. It's insane. There's a lot of things. So people will spend money in their pets, right? So maybe you want to do that. Purchasing behavior, and this will allow you to know, for example, people how they behave. They want to do everything. Bargain seekers, business office supplies and equipment, catalog shoppers, rural farm related products, senior oriented products, tobacco users. This will give you a guide on that part. It won't give you like more detailed information. It will give you like a more broad, but it will give you a sense of what can you do with that. Okay. And the last one is business to business that I want to show you. Business to business. Remember, this is huge because business to business will allow you to have a good sense of, for example, just your competition. Who's out there? Who's doing things similar to you? How big they are? How many employees they have? What's the income they have? If you have that, you can compare, just Google them and take a look at the product, service, and see what they're offering. And if you know what they're offering, you have a really good understanding of what you can do different than them. Remember your unique selling proposition in order to grow your business. And that's one of the biggest things that I want you to take from this one, okay? So for this one, for example, let's say keywords NAICS code. And this is will always ask you for the NAICS code. That's basically the North American industry code system. Every industry has a code system. So let me go to my presentation here. Business to customer wine and B2B. So let's count this SIG volume. Okay, let's say SIG industry. SIG industry is 871201. Let's say you're gonna do building designs or an architect, right? So you want to know who's out there doing similar things that you are. Okay, you're located in a city state. Let's say once again, you're located in, okay. Oh. And architects and engineers. Okay, number of employees, sales volume, and maybe you're a small business and you want to do sales volumes. Again, Columbus, New Jersey. Sales volume. This is really important because maybe you're not gonna compete with the big people, like people that are selling more than $2 million a year. Maybe you're not there. So your competition is gonna be people between 500,000 and $1 million. That's really good. So let's take a look at that because there's some two things here. You can take a look at the competition. That's the way I'm doing it. Or maybe you want to see people, organizations that can buy your product or services. This can be working both ways. Maybe I'm an organization that is specialized on selling, I don't know, car jacks. Maybe, and I want to sell a ton of them. So maybe I'm gonna start looking for a company that just buys these kind of things, and they have sales of 10 million, 20 million, $30 million because I want to sell large quantities of my products to them so they can resell them. Okay. If we take a look at that, then I view results, no record found. So there's no one in New Jersey that in Collinswood, maybe unless there's a Camden. No. Oh no. Let's change this a little bit more because I do city, state. Maybe I want to do just the state itself, New Jersey. Because if I'm selling business to business, I just want to take a look at that part, right? Because maybe the distance is not so important, but the volume you're gonna sell, that's the key differentiation here. So maybe you want to see New Jersey and Pennsylvania, let's say, because you want to do that. So let's take a look. And this is everything that we have. Once again, remember, you can only download 100 people at a time. So the first page, second page you select, the third one you do the same, and lastly, the fourth one you select the same. You go down and where it says download, download, Excel, and always select detail. Detail, that information will be awesome. So download records. Here it is. And this will give you a lot of, there's 100 different tabs in that page. But let me see. Oh, didn't open. Or did it? Let me see. No, this is not the detail. There's another one here. Okay. So you see here, let me. Okay. Once again. Okay. So you have the name of the company, the who's the executive of that company, ownership, address, everything on that side. Where the location in New Jersey, for example, and metro area is where do they operate. So they, for example, these people They're actually from First Floor Designs. They're in Plainfield, New Jersey. But you see, they operate everything from Union, New York, New Jersey, and PA. This is their phone number. Primary descriptions, architect, floor laying, refinishing and resurfacing, e-commerce, and let me see. And this is all the things that they have from record. But once you go all the way down, they should have like sales numbers. Let me see if they have the sales numbers at some point. Okay. So this is something that you want. The actual sales number per year. Why? Because this will allow you to know if, for example, you want to do business with them, if you're looking to sell them a product or service, or if it's your competition, you're gonna see, okay, they're making this amount of money, they're more in my league, I'm competing directly with them than on a business that's selling $2 million. So this is really important. Because remember, when people are selling huge amounts, maybe their model is not the same as you. Okay, so this is good. And once this will show you also the credit rating. Okay, years on database, credit rating. Okay. Why this is important? For example, if you're looking at a business that's your competition, you want to see how they're perceived by the banks, and they're really well perceived. You know, they can get access to credit really quickly, so they're a successful business. But if you see a business here that has C, C plus, D, maybe they're not doing that well, and that's an opportunity for you to start looking at what they're doing, their business, their location, and try to take business out of that. So that's something that you can take a look. Or if you're doing businesses to business, selling product or service to another business, you can look at credit, because this will allow you to know if they're really good at paying their debts. And you maybe have a policy, like you said, like, you know what, I'm only gonna do business with businesses with a credit score that's gonna be A, B, and B plus, not C plus, not C, nor D. Because that will allow you to minimize the risk or not getting paid, because it's a business and sometimes this business go under. So we want to minimize that impact in our financial records. Okay. I think those are the databases that we can see today. But once again, all this information, just play with the databases, just go there, play with them, and they will provide you a lot of information. That's the most important part. If you have questions, Julie will have the presentation itself, some links that I will send you over, including the SBDC, Small Business Development Centers, and our information here at UCDC, so you can do everything. I will send you also the link to jerseyclicks.com and to Julie's website here at Camden County Library System. Okay, that's all I have. Let me go back to my presentation. But if you have questions, this is the time to go. Please open your microphones if you have questions, and we can discuss them.
And while we're waiting for questions to come in, I just wanted to mention, we're happy at the library to set up a one-to-one Zoom appointment to look specifically at this database or other databases. We are not necessarily small business experts or entrepreneurship experts, but we do know these databases inside and out, and searching and search strategies and things like that. So in addition to reaching out to UCEDC and Alejandro for more of this business support, you can always reach out to us at the library for research and searching support itself. I'll put my email in the chat in case you don't have it, but that's always an option.
Thank you, Julie. I really appreciate it. Remember, if you don't take advantage of this, someone will. Maybe your competition will take advantage of this. And if they do, you're losing. You're losing the opportunity to grow, to have a better sales number, and at the end of the day, to improve your financial position. So always think about that. Data is power. And if you can access that data, you will be in a better position than someone else that's doing a similar business than you. Okay? So, as Julie said, contact Julie, contact me. I will send the SBDC. The SBDCs are a great solution if you have specific questions about, for example, your marketing campaign, or just identifying who is going to be your average client. I'll be sending some another presentation is 2 pages about the buyer's persona, and so you can see, for example, how do they look your average client, the income level, maybe they're married. So that's the first step, identifying who can buy from you. So you know when you're doing the marketing research, you're doing all of this, you will get real information that's going to be really good for you. You're going to be having information that's relevant. That's not going to be information that's not going to work for you, but information that will improve your position in the future. Also, always create goals. If you get this information, create goals for yourself, financial goals, personal goals, because that way you can evaluate the performance of your decisions, and make changes, and take a look at the assumptions you did. Always month to month, every 2 months, compare in order to improve your results at the end of the day. Okay, that's all I have. This is my email address. I will include Julie, if you're okay, I will include your email here. So, or in another page, putting everything just for the Camden County Library. So you can actually call Julie to, and we'll be happy to help you. I know that. That's it. So if there's no questions, that's all I have for today. Julie?
I think I'm not seeing new questions. There were a lot of questions in the chat. So if we missed any of your questions, now's the time, in the few minutes we have left. And we
Can I
are.
ask a quick question, Julie?
Great.
I'm in Somerset County, so can I still access your database with my library card from Somerset County?
Absolutely. Yeah. You want to go to the Somerset County Library website. It's a great system up there. They may even have a business librarian, like a business specialist librarian. So you
I
could
thought every
call-
library does. All right,
What's that?
cool. I'll find out. I thought every library should have one, so I'll definitely find out for sure.
We would all like to, yeah, for sure. But I believe that Somerset County does. But it is a great library system up there. Yeah, so anywhere you're located through your local library, you can access for sure reference solutions, because that's provided by the state library for everyone in New Jersey. But yeah, the best place to start is your local library website, and then to reach out to reference librarians at your local library for assistance. If the transcript is available, I don't think it's downloadable. No, I'm sorry. So you can view the transcript, but it's not downloadable or savable, unfortunately. I mean, we haven't been recording these presentations so that people feel comfortable unmuting and asking questions and things like that for privacy reasons. So we don't have a recording of the presentation itself, but yeah, the slides, links, everything will be emailed out to everyone. Yeah, who's registered. And then we're looking forward to offering some additional classes like this in the new year, some additional small business classes.
Yeah.
So the database that we spent the most time on at the end is called Reference Solutions. Reference Solutions used to be called Reference USA, and librarians will probably always call it Reference USA.
Yeah.
So you could ask for that too. And can you do just a quick for people who joined us a little bit into the session? Can you just say what UCEDC is, Alejandro?
Absolutely. We're a private nonprofit. Our name is United Counties Economic Development Corporation. It's a it's really long, that name. Basically, we're a nonprofit that provides aid to small businesses. We're a community development financial institution. That means that we work directly with the SBA to provide funding to businesses, small businesses that don't have access to banking. Basically, they have income below, they're looking for loans below $20,000, 10,000. Maybe the banks don't want, they don't have appetite for those loans. So we provide those, and we provide training, counseling services, and procurement technical assistance center. If you want to sell to the government, we also provide that for union. But if you want to see some recordings of trainings on PTAG or just like these ones, go to ucedc.com and you can take a look at everything that we offer. Thank you.
Okay. Great. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Alejandro. You can keep an eye out for emails from the Camden County Library for upcoming presentations that we're hosting, as well as emails directly from UCEDC and on their website as well, because they're obviously doing things all over the state.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, okay?
Great.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.